Hey y'all, it's Brandon with Voodoo Forge. Now, I need some hooks to use around my place. And so, being all arts and craftsy like I am, decided to make some out of some old bolts out of an old table of mine. And end up with some hooks that I can use around my place to hang some stuff on. So anyway, neat little project, short little project out of some reclaimed material. So let's check it out. Here's our starting material. These are 3/8 bolts, 8 inches long. Now where these came from was my very first blacksmithing table I built out of wood. Rough cut lumber, and this is what held the 4x4 legs on. And anyway, that as you can imagine, as a blacksmithing table, I had a post vise mounted to it, and it didn't last super long. So once it got a little wrinkly, I built a steel table and took it down there and put it next to my fire pit, and it eventually got overgrown with honeysuckle. And when I was cleaning that out, I found what was left of it, threw it in the fire pit and burned it. And when I was cleaning out the fire pit, I found these bolts and was like, I'll save these. I'll do something with them. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make hooks. So I don't use reclaimed material as much as some other people do, because it's way easier to just buy new steel than go through scrap yards and stuff. But this is a project for around here, for around my place, so I thought it would be cool to make these hooks that I need out of these, since they were on hand and they were kind of part of my history. All these still had the nuts on them when I dug them out of the fire pit, so getting those off is the first order of business, which is pretty simple. Throw this in the scrap. First thing I'm going to do, I'm taking a square punch and just putting some indentations in. For my screw holes later. I'm using 2 so it won't swivel. Now you don't have to use a square punch. You don't even have to do this. But I like the aspect of that neat design when you put it at a kind of a diamond on the round stock. So now we're gonna flip her around, maybe. If I can operate my tongs, flip her around, stick it back in. Now you want to make sure that you're doing your hook the right direction, because you've already put those dimples on for your screw holes. I'm saying that mostly for me. I have screwed that up. Boom! That completes the forging process. No, it doesn't, because look, I got off a little bit here. So what I gotta do is I gotta heat it, I gotta stick it in a vise, and I gotta kind of tweak that over. Relatively quick fix, just straighten everything up. But you know how I was talking about, make sure I screw things like this up all the time. But it's okay to screw things up as long as you know how to fix them. I'm not sure how well y'all can see that. But what was going on was this flat part, which needs to be the back of the hook, was canted from the hook, so it wouldn't have stuck straight out from the wall. So that's really about the only thing you can do to screw up a hook. And like I said, it's okay to make mistakes as long as you can and will fix them. I'm just gonna let this thing slow cool, and then I'll center punch here and drill it. I know a lot of people like to quench everything that they make. And I know that below certain temperature ranges, it doesn't matter to quench it. And I have been told repeatedly, and it's my complete understanding that mild steel will not harden when you quench it. But I don't know what this steel is, and I'm going to have to drill holes in it. So why bother with it? Most things do not need to be quenched when you're done forging them. Just set them somewhere and let them slow cool, and you'll be fine. Before we drill our holes, gonna center punch these. One center punch in. Just helps our bit, keep our bit from wandering a little bit. Here's our finished product. I've got several of these now. I can put them places I need to hang tools and other things that are less useful up. That falls in the less useful category, but it's up now. Yeah, we like to keep things at the chicken house pretty fancy. Now I know that's a simple little silly project, but you know, we really did need hooks for several of the buildings we put up this spring and worked on this spring, and had the material laying around. And I try to, things like that we need around our place, I try to make them a little unique and a little different because, you know, I am a blacksmith. This is my place. So, you know, one day when I die and my kids sell this place off, I want whoever gets it to be like, what is all this weird metal stuff? But anyway, hopefully y'all got something out of this. And I'll have another project video up next Friday. And until then, y'all behave yourselves.